Hey y'all, welcome back to Maya Makes It. Now, I don't know about y'all, but every once in a while, I like to take a self-care day and watch some of my favorite movies and just relax. And to go along with my movie watching, I thought I needed some snacks. So today I'm showing y'all how to make some garlic Parmesan wings that are going to be amazing, some bacon hot onion dip, and to top it all off, some sopapilla cheesecake bars. I'm really excited for this one. Let's start with the sopapilla cheesecake bars because they're gonna need to bake and then chill. So we'll get the ball rolling with that first. I'm going to start off by putting my cream cheese into my mixer. And I've seen several recipes like with sopapilla cheesecake bars. There's lots of different ways to do it. And y'all know I like to keep things simple. So we are going to take the route with the crescent rolls as our dough. So I'm gonna add my cream cheese into my mixer. Okay, so now that we have both blocks of cream cheese in our mixer, we're gonna add in a cup of sugar, this granulated sugar. And then we're also gonna do a teaspoon of some vanilla extract. So I have a little vanilla here. And then we're gonna mix that all up. Okay, so that is it. That's all we need for the filling. So I forgot to mention, but you want to make sure you start with softened cream cheese, and that's just going to make it easier to mix up. And so now that the filling is done, I am going to lay out the first can of crescent roll dough in my pan. That first roll of crescent dough down in my pan, I am going to put the cream cheese filling on top. And I used honey butter crescent rolls because I thought, why not have a little extra flavor? And then I also made sure that I pressed it together where the seams kind of started to come apart, just so our mixture won't seep through. So the filling is on top of our bottom layer of crust, and so now we're going to take the top layer of our crescent dough and place it on top of our cream cheese filling. And then once we get it all laid out, I'm going to brush it with some melted butter and a cinnamon sugar mixture. Cheesecake is ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven at 350 degrees to bake for 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna grab the ingredients for our hot onion dip so we can get started on that. The cheesecake is cooking in the oven and I've cleaned out my bowl, so we are ready to start with the hot onion dip. So I am going to throw everything into the mixer. This is a super simple recipe because it just is a matter of combining all of your ingredients together and then mixing it up to bake. So I have 1 whole yellow onion that we're putting in our mixer. And then I have 4 slices of bacon that I cooked. You could also use bacon bits if you have that. But I had some bacon on hand, so I just cooked some up. And then I have 2 cups of Parmesan cheese, just shredded Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna throw that in. And then I also have my 3 blocks of softened cream cheese. So that's a lot of cream cheese. It's gonna be worth it. And this dip is slightly addictive, I'm telling y'all. Once you make it, you're gonna be making it over and over again. And then the last ingredient is a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. So we'll put that all together and then mix it up. Just like that, the dip is ready to bake. So I'm going to place it into our baking dish and then place it in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 or so minutes until it's bubbly and golden on top. All right, so now that the cheesecake is out of the oven and chilling and the hot onion dip is in the oven and baking, we are ready to work on our final snack, which is the wings. So I already have about 2 pounds of chicken wings that are clean and ready to go. I've patted them dry. And so I'm gonna put them in my bowl and shake some baking powder on them, as well as some black pepper, some garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. And then we're gonna cook them in the air fryer to hopefully get a really crispy exterior and maybe save on a few calories. Okay, so it's all mixed up, and I put a teaspoon of the garlic powder, the black pepper, and the salt and mixed it all up. And then it was 2 teaspoons of the baking powder. And I'm going to have to break this up into batches because my air fryer is a little bit smaller and we want them to cook evenly and not be like squished or anything like that. So I'm gonna cook them in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 15 minutes and then flip them and cook them for another 15 minutes. And then they'll be ready to enjoy. All right, so the wings are done. It took about 3 batches in my air fryer. Might be different for yours if you have a bigger one, but I am excited because they look really good and they are super crispy. And so now we are going to coat them with our garlic Parmesan sauce. And so I actually already heated it all up in a pot. So I melted down 5 tablespoons of butter, and then I did 3 cloves of minced garlic, and then I also added in 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And then just for some color and added effect, I did some cilantro. You could also do parsley if you have that on hand. And I did maybe 3 tablespoons or so chopped. And so now we're just gonna pour this over our wings and give them a toss. So now that our wings are all tossed and coated in that glorious sauce, we are ready to give them a taste. So I'm gonna grab the hot onion dip out of the oven and our sopapilla cheesecake bars out of the freezer, and we will try it all. All right, the time has come to give it all a taste. So let me scoop up some of this hot onion dip on a plate. Okay, I'm gonna start with the wings because they look amazing. Oh, and they smell so good, the garlic and the Parmesan. Could y'all hear that crunch? So good. So the baking powder was a trick that I read about. If you shake a little like baking powder on your wings before putting them in the air fryer, it helps them get really crispy. And I agree. Highly recommend them. So now I'm gonna taste a little of this dip, and it's still hot from the oven. So warm. And I know you might be thinking, if you haven't had onion dip before, you might feel like it's too oniony or like that'll be weird, but it's actually really great once it bakes and that flavor kind of mellows out. So good. And I love to dip mine with pita chips or crackers, even some vegetables. Make me feel a little bit healthier that way. Okay, and now finally, the cheesecake bars. And these smell so good. They feel like the whole house with the cinnamon sugar smell. Let's give it a taste. Yes, so easy, but delicious. And then if you're like me and you're kind of waiting to the last minute and you don't have time to chill it all the way, you can pop it in the freezer for about an hour and then it sets up really well. That's it for today's video, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna take my snacks and go watch a couple of movies. I appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like it and follow me on Instagram for more of what's going on in the kitchen. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.